Hi, my name is Bridget Tyso and I'm completing an initial health consultation on today's date, which is the 11th of the 11th, 2020. This is Hayden, my client, and we'll start by fixing up his adult pre-exercise screening tool. So I'll just ask some questions. Hayden, what's your date of birth?
05/08/1999.
Cool, male, and I've got today's date. Has your doctor ever told you that you have a heart condition or have ever suffered from a stroke?
No.
Cool, that's awesome. Do you ever experience unexplained pains in your chest and at rest or during activity or exercise?
No.
Sorry, that was such a mouthful. Do you ever feel faint or have spells of dizziness during physical activity exercise that could cause you to lose your balance?
No.
Awesome. And have you had an asthma attack requiring immediate medical attention at any time over the last 12 months?
No.
Okay, cool. And you don't have diabetes?
No.
Do you have any diagnosed muscle or bone joint problems?
No.
No. Do you have any other medical conditions that we should be aware of?
No.
That could get in the way of your physical exercise?
No.
Cool, you've signed that. Let's move on to your health screening. Alright, I've got your name, I've got all your contact details. What's your number one fitness goal?
Probably to increase my overall muscle mass and reduce my body fat.
And as a trainer or as a client of a trainer, what's your expectations of that? Are you expecting like a program?
Yeah, probably a program and maybe like dietary.
Guidelines?
Yeah, some guidelines.
And how many times do you want to train a week?
Yeah.
Cool. And then let's go down. When do you want to achieve this by?
Probably about a year. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's a realistic time frame. Cool. And do you have any other important goals?
Probably to reduce stress and probably get some more sleep so I can improve my overall well-being.
Awesome, that's a really good goal. And do you know what you need to be successful at these goals?
Yeah, probably eating less carbs, eating more vegetables, probably eating more protein and just getting some more sleep.
Absolutely, and definitely probably focusing on your type of training that you're doing, just so it accompanies it properly. Are you currently exercising?
Yes, I am.
How many times a week?
5.
And how long do these sessions go for?
Probably about 90 minutes, I'd say.
Okay, cool. You haven't been pregnant, don't take any other medications. We took your resting heart rate and it was 73 beats per minute.
Yep.
While you're here, I'm just going to take your resting blood pressure and we'll let that tick away while I keep asking some more questions. Now this has to go on your left arm.
Yep.
Your left arm. Thank you. There you go. I'll just continue with this while that's ticking away. Oh, awesome. It's 103/67. Cool bananas. Done. Now I'm just going to take your waist.
Yep.
And your hip measurements.
Sure thing.
Cool. Do you mind just staying there in a relaxed position with your palms forward? Thank you. Cool. Got that. Hips. Cool. Got that.
Sweet.
Thank you. So they were, your waist was 86 centimeters and your hips were 84 centimeters, which gives you a waist to hip ratio of 1.02, which isn't too bad. And then I pumped your measurements into the BMI calculator to get your result of 27.2, which on the Australian calculator guidelines says that you're overweight. But they also don't take into consideration height, or they do, but how broad you are and all those kind of things, body shape, all of that. So not to worry, you are quite fit still, but there is definitely room to lose some weight.
Yep.
And I know at the moment you're doing pest controlling. So how active is your job? Sedentary, light activity, moderate activity, or strenuous?
I'd probably say strenuous. A lot of stair climbing.
Heavy lifting?
Yeah.
And then how active is your day? Probably strenuous.
Probably strenuous.
And then including training makes it even a bit more.
Yeah.
And how many hours a night do you sleep?
I'd probably say between 7 to 9, probably about 8, I reckon.
But you do want to improve on your sleeping, you're not getting enough sleep at the moment.
I feel like I'm not getting enough sleep.
Especially if you're doing so much physical exercise during the day.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you're definitely recovering well. In the past month, how often have you been physically restricted by your health?
Not at all.
Awesome. And emotionally affected in the past month at all?
No.
No? Very good. And you said when we were referring to the diet type that could best explain your situation, you said that you feel that there is a few changes you could make to improve your health. So in that instance, I would refer you to a dietitian so they can implement you with a diet plan and educate you furthermore on the 5 food groups and what you should be eating with the amount of training you're doing during your day and your job and your lifestyle and all of that.
Yep.
And to also accompany your goal in the gym.
Yep.
How much time can you commit to your exercise plan?
I'd say I could do 5 sessions.
5 sessions a week?
Yeah.
And you still want them to be those 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Cool. And what time of the day do you prefer to exercise?
Probably in the afternoon, I'd say.
Afternoon. Cool. And what days will you train on? You want to do like the Monday to Friday sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Weekends off
Yeah,
for the boys?
weekends off.
Cool.
Yep.
And you said that you like weight machines, free weights, sports, running, and you like a bit of dance. You like a little bit of Zumba?
Yeah, Zumba's really fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, cool. We have Zumba on Monday nights here at Fitness First. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
That's
maybe
so
after
good.
your training session you could go to Zumba and do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bust down some moves.
Definitely. And then you like to exercise at a moderate intensity.
Yep.
And the only fitness kind of that doesn't really interest you is like kind of like Pilates,
Yeah.
and like body pump, those kind of group X. But you do
Yeah.
like Zumba.
Loves Zumba.
Cool. Okay, well, now that we've done that, let's move on to your dietary stuff.
Yep.
Hi, my name's Bridget Tyso. I'm going to be completing Hayden's Dietary Habits Questionnaire. So before I go on, just with recommendations and things like that, in my scope of practice, I can't prescribe you with anything, tell you have some sort of intolerance, nutritional wise, and I can't give you a meal plan for you to follow. I can only educate you about the Australian guidelines.
Yep.
And give you like a bit of information here and there, like ways to promote healthy eating, things like that. I just can't prescribe you with anything.
Yep.
But we'll go off this. So your dietary goal was, Hayden, please explain.
To reduce my body fat percentage overall, as I want to do a competition.
Wow, yeah. Bit of bodybuilding, love that. And you have no special dietary requirements.
No.
Now, out of the 5 food groups, how many serves of vegetables do you usually eat per day?
I'd say 2 to 3.
So for someone your size and just as a male, that's below average.
Yeah.
So you just never need to up them. And that's similar to your fruit, what you wrote
Yeah.
down. And then how many serves of breads and cereals do you eat?
I'd probably have to say 2 to 3 as well.
That's pretty normal.
Mm.
And then what about dairy?
Dairy, I'd say 2 to 3 as well.
And also
nearly pushing 4 to 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just depends on the day, really.
Protein shakes, those kind of things will accumulate
Yeah.
to that. And then what about meat or meat alternatives?
I'd say 4 to 5.
Is that just with every meal you're having
Yeah.
like some sort of protein?
Yeah.
Would you, and that's like eggs, tofu, meat, all those kind of things?
Yep.
Cool. And then I know you like a little bit of a sweet treat.
Yeah.
Discretionary choices, you put down 7 to 9 servings per week.
Yeah.
Obviously something that you want to look at with your dietitian and like definitely implementing, like, you know, trying to get ready for a bodybuilding show. You can't be having those high calorie dense foods that aren't good for you.
Yeah.
High in saturated fats, all of that.
Yeah.
So I said yes, you would require a referral just from the information that you've told me.
Mm-hmm.
And some strategies to assist your goal would just be, you know, eat in a calorie deficit. You know, obviously eating too much for your size. But eat enough of nutritionally dense foods that keep you saturated and satisfied throughout the days.
Yep.
So you're not wanting to eat all those discretionary foods that you want to eat. And then I just say, go seek, when you're with a dietitian, get like that meal plan, educate yourself on what you should and shouldn't be eating.
Yep.
With everything that you're doing. And then that's about it.
Sweet. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.